Spider, come back soon again. That's right. Okay, this song I'm going to play, only two people in the room have heard it before. Pamela and Mr. Luke McNeil. I hardly ever play it because it's really hard to play. Because I have this whole ethic about writing tunes that are difficult to play. Now, I gotta give you some history of the song. I'm a huge Frank Zappa aficionado. He was very influential on my own music. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with his catalog, but there was this one album he did called The Man from Utopia. And on that album, there was a song called The Dangerous Kitchen.
Thank you.
And now this song really appealed to me because it's kind of jazzy, and it has a non-repetitive melody throughout the whole song. And for a long time in my writing career, I'd wanted to write a song like that, a non-repeating melody throughout the whole song. But what was even more interesting to me is the voice and the guitar were in unison all the way through the thing, okay? And I was like, how could he possibly have done that? Because it sounds just like improv. All the way through the song, it's the voice and the guitar. So, being the huge Frank Zappa fan that I was, I think it was Matthew Miles wrote this biography about Frank, like this thick. And I was reading through it, and I'm totally captivated, and after it's destroyed all the mythology I had in my head about what a great guy Frank was, he wasn't. I found out that what actually happened was he performed the song, and the band would play behind him, and he'd just sing the lyrics. And then later on in the studio, Steve Vai took the song, transcribed the entire melody, and then played along with it in the studio. But I didn't find this out until after I'd written this song. Yeah, so it so happens that I'm playing a song that's more difficult than the one that Frank wrote. Because all he had to do was sing. But there was another thing, but this is kind of, I've often thought, I don't think I would ever have been good enough to be in one of his bands, because he always had the best guys. He always had the best musicians, the best bands. He over-rehearsed them. They all hated him. They all thought he was a real asshole, but they were great, And so I saw this interview with Ruth Underwood, who played vibes and xylophone for him for many, many years, a couple of decades. And she was saying that one thing that Frank always did is he always got the best out of any musician that he ever influenced. He pushed them right to the limit of their ability, and then bring it back a half step. He pushed them until they couldn't play anymore, and then bring it back in. And so it took me like 2 months to write this song, and to figure out how to play it. And whenever I want to play it, I literally have to practice it for like 2 or 3 weeks before I'll even bring it out and expect to get an 80% pass on the thing, okay?
Hold on. Jen went to get you something.
Oh, really? Oh. Why, thank you. Thank you very much. So, I present to you a song, 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes about, chronicling 7.5 minutes of black as I used to call it, 7.5 minutes of black comedy, chronicling 18 months of bliss. It all happened so long ago, seems like a dream now. Romantic entanglement bullshit. A typical story of boy meets girl, a tragic comic event if there ever was one. But the telling of the tale is alive, so listen up. Girl meets boy, they exchange emails, they wind up actually dating. Beyond all good sense, ignoring the evidence that it's doomed from the beginning. I mean, he's still married, so what the fuck is he thinking about? Like he's available or anything. She knows he's married and jumps right off the cliff of that judgment. Both feet. She tells herself, oh, it'll work out as long as we keep it both fun and simple. And soon They are making big cow eyes at each other and rolling around in the big sticky mess of romantic entanglement bullshit. Some time goes by, they're all caught up in this shit hallucination. In fact, they're both enjoying the hell out of it. Weekends away, surprise visits, lunch every Wednesday, and shagging so much they both chafed and sore. Ow. More time goes by, he starts to think she's the one, in all bone caps, the one, the love of my life forever. She starts to think, well, who the fuck knows what she's thinking? I mean, I know. I mean, he can't fucking read minds. And subsequent events sort of prove that I know. I mean, he had about as much clue as a chair over there. That one. And he took that clue and he shoved it right up his ass because he figured that would be a nice safe place to keep such a precious thing. And then it would not get lost or whatever. Good thing it was a tiny clue, or it would have hurt to sit down. But in hindsight, it's easy to see it was just bad gas caused by a steady diet of romantic entanglement bullshit. Now some of you might be saying, especially you ladies, none of whom are here, oh my, he's really so bitter. But that's not the case. Actually, he's more like a little salty and maybe sweet. But I think you really have to ask her, cause she's the one who knows. Don't you think? And anyway, I can't know. I mean, he can't fucking bend over that far. And why the fuck would I want to find out anyway? You know what I mean. Gross. I ain't into guys. All that I can say after thinking about it for a while is hands off to you ladies and meanwhile, back to the tragedy. Eventually, after enough of her friend's advice, she finally wised up and bailed over the course of several weeks by phone and email. See what I mean about being really hard to play? Showering him with creative excuses like, I'm going to a show with Don Wright. I have to work late at Odyssey. Kelly is having guy problems and I have to meet her for dinner. I'm going to a show with Don Wright. I have to work late at Odyssey. My roommate just got fired and I have to meet her for dinner to commiserate. I found this one to be particularly creative and telling. After enough of this bullshit, he finally pulls a clue out of his ass and reads it, only to find that the words, she'll stay with me forever, have been crossed out. And now it reads, she's ditching you, you stupid fuck. And he sits there stupidly wondering how the fuck she got up his ass with a black magic marker. I must have been blinded by love. Don't you think? And anyway, at least he got his leather jacket back and figured out later that she dumped him for some other guy who fairly pukes the words, I love you, all over her, and is likely not probably a big plus. But now the problem is that he pukes too all over himself every time he steps in, or gets a whiff on, or stands real close to, or is threatened by, or experiences a near miss with the big ugly mess that is. Here it comes, you all know the words. Romantic entanglement bullshit. Thank you very much.
Well done.
And now, I would like to welcome, let's see, Rob Matson left, so, and the lead is gone, so it's Mr. Ed Bauer up here for the lightning round. 2 tunes, Ed.
2?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I would like to thank, I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name already.
Jen.
Jen, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
2.